Hello everyone and happy Halloween. This is Andreas from Nordic Tarot. I'm bringing you a love reading for the month of November, and as the readings are general and trying to cover as many people as possible, there won't be a message for everyone, and I sincerely hope that there is a message for you, but kind of by design it's not possible for there to be one for everyone watching. And if you'd like more information about how to contact me for personal reading or what decks I use, you'll find all of that in the description box below. Thank you, and I hope you enjoy your reading. Hey Gemini, Sun, Moon and Rising. This time your underlying energy is the moon. And I know that the moon is about confusion and maybe not being able to see things clearly, things being in the shadow, and not having enough information. But I would also like to say that you do have the Sun and the High Priestess in this reading, and another part of the moon is that it's about intuition, and so is the High Priestess, and the Sun is about seeing things clearly. So I do feel like there's a lot of emphasis on intuition and that part of the moon card. So there might be some confusion or something, but I think it's much more to do with the intuition. And actually, you do have a lot of similar cards to Taurus. Taurus had the High Priestess and the Sun in the same positions. They also had the Eight of Pentacles and the Moon, not in the same positions, but they had them. So, maybe you can team up with a Taurian and you can make some amazing things happen. Who knows? So, maybe you and the Taurians are coming at things in a similar way, maybe. But the problem circumstance placement here, at the heart of your reading, you have the Star, and the Star is about healing, it's about hoping and wishing. So there can be a lot of manifestation happening, that you're tending to yourself and making sure you're right, healing yourself. But what's crossing the Star is the Five of Wands, and the Five of Wands, of course, it can be a lot of different things. It can be about competition, it can be about petty squabbles, maybe some drama, it can be inner turmoil, it can be conflict. And I'm looking at the other cards, kind of trying to figure out what this is. It can be about not necessarily being sure about what to manifest, or what to hope for, or what to wish for, or how to heal, or it can even be that maybe what you're wishing for, or maybe you have some aspirations, is that rubbing someone the wrong way. Are they disagreeing with that? Are they saying no, I don't think you should do that because this is what I want? But of course, in that case, what we have to remember is what's best for you, what's your truth, and what is the healthy thing and the good thing for you. And what the Five of Swords can also be sometimes is, we've all had those things in front of us that just seem like huge insurmountable problems that we're wondering how am I ever going to do this? With the Five of Wands, it can also be that those things are more like an obstacle now. Yes, it might be really difficult, and it might take some time and a lot of effort to get through it, but we also have that confidence behind us that we can get through it and we can do it. But in the past, you had the Queen of Wands, and who is the Queen of Wands here? This can have been a fire sign you dealt with, for example, and so that will have been an Aries, a Leo, or a Sagittarius, for example. And, it's a Queen of Wands, but even if you're a straight woman, for example, then, of course the Queen of Wands wouldn't be your partner, but then this would still be a man. It's more about the energy of the card than the actual gender associated with it, because of, the nature of the general reading, trying to reach as many people as possible. So, was this someone you were dealing with? And this could have been someone who's very passionate, very, a go-getter kind of thing. And the Queen of Wands, she's very sociable, she's often seen as very attractive, and people are attracted to her. And she also knows that she attracts people. She knows she's attractive. And she's a very passionate person. But what this has led on to now in the present, how the energy or the situation kind of evolved, is the Ace of Pentacles. So is this Queen of Wands still around for this Ace of Pentacles thing to happen? Is this someone you've moved on to, and now you have the Ace of Pentacles happening in your present instead? And the Ace of Pentacles is the prospect, or the possibility of a stable new beginning, right? Where I feel like if you get something like you have the Ace of Wands here, which is also a fantastic energy, but the Ace of Pentacles has that stability to it, whereas the Ace of Wands is so fiery and passionate and just kind of, the excitement just kind of blows up. The Ace of Pentacles is a bit more of a, I don't want to say muted kind of energy, but it's more stable, it's more grounded, and I feel like it evolves or promises more longevity to whatever this new beginning is. And is this new beginning associated with the star that's currently happening in your situation, with this healing or this wishing and manifestation that you have, and this hopefulness? Is that what has created this Ace of Pentacles situation? And it just feels to me like things have become very clear with the Ace of Pentacles. Like you can see a very clear, stable path in front of you, and part of that I attribute to the sun in your feelings. And I'm sorry, I know I'm mentioning a bunch of cards that I haven't got into yet, but I will get to them and explain more why I associate them with different cards. In the future, however, you have the Page of Cups. And the Page of Cups, again, can be a few different things. It can be, the Page of Cups is our inner child. And this is like paying attention to our inner child. What's the inner child saying? Is it bored? Does it want to go off and do something else? What it also is a page, which means they bring messages. And the message the Page of Cups brings is a message of love. So this can be someone expressing themselves. This can be someone expressing how they feel about something, or someone. Like, will you be the Page of Cups? Is this you working toward expressing how you feel for someone, maybe? Or, you can already be with someone and this is you are expressing yourself about a situation in the relationship, maybe, or there's this, like, newfound romance in a relationship. I do feel like with the star here and everything, I almost feels like this is something that you felt you've been needing to express for a while, if this is you expressing this. And, maybe the star and the Page of Cups and the Five of Wands is connected here, where you are trying to heal and you're wishing and manifesting, and you kind of want to go to this Page of Cups place where you can express how you feel about something, but maybe the conflict of it's kind of like making you wary about that. It's like, I want to express myself in this way, but it might cause conflict. But again, what's important to remember is, like, what's best for you? What's for your greater good? How are you going to grow as a person? Now, what do we have in the crowning placement? Well, if it isn't the Eight of Pentacles. And the Eight of Pentacles is a card of work. It's working, putting the hours in and doing the work. And it's, it's called the apprentice card sometimes, and it's a known quantity kind of work. We know what's going on, we've seen it all before, and we don't mind doing the work. It's work we don't mind doing because we know that we have an end goal. There's a purpose to the work we're doing, and now it's just a case of kind of hammering out our skills and getting better at whatever it is we're doing, right? Because we are on this path to mastery, and that's like the end goal, and we kind of have that clearly in our minds. So I feel like this might be that, okay, so you have the Ace of Pentacles here, you have the sun and all this stuff going on, and now it's time to put in the work. Like, I'm a Gemini, and I feel like sometimes I have all these ideas and I have plans and I'm going to do this, and this, but then when it comes to actually doing the work, I'm like, I'm not super interested anymore. Like, if someone else could do the work bit, that'd be great, but this just looks like we just need to get the work done. We just got to do the work now. And it feels that straightforward because in the feelings, you have the sun, and the sun is clarity, it's potential, it's happiness, it's, things are clear. That's why it felt like this Ace of Pentacles had a lot of clarity to it, partly because of the sun. And that's why, again, I don't feel like the moon in the underlying is so much about confusion and not knowing what to do or not having the information, because the sun is there in ourselves, in our feelings, and where Gemini is at the moment, the sun is there, and the sun touches all the cards around them and making them more positive, and like it's enlightenment, and you can see things for what they are, and you can see the paths ahead. And then maybe that's a reason why the Eight of Pentacles is in the crowning. Like, we see the path now. What's left is to do the work, like actually walk the path. Now, it's great to talk the talk, but if you don't walk the walk as well, you know, you might not end up where you want to be. And in the outside influence, there is again this Ace of Wands. And the outside influence placement is this energy that is currently affecting the energies and the situation and what's happening, and, you know, affecting this reading, but it's something that we might not necessarily have noticed yet. Like, we might not acknowledge it, or we might not be able to see it yet, but it is coming, and it is this passionate, like, it might be a new project, it might be this new path, and we're excited and enthusiastic about this. And, you know, I would say this is definitely related to the Ace of Pentacles, because they're both about new beginnings, and it can be a very stable beginning that we're very excited about. And I think that is, like, brought forth by the star. Like, that's how that new beginning is, that's what's kind of propelling that. But then we do have this 5 of Wands crossing it as well, like we're worried about something. That's what it feels like to me. And in your hopes and fears, you have the World, and the World is the card of a successful completion of a cycle. This is like something is going to end. We want to end something so that we can begin something new. That's how it feels like here, right? Like, in the hopes and fears position, you're like, alright, I will end this cycle, whatever it is, like this star crossed by the 5 of Wands thing that's happening, so I can get going on this Ace of Pentacles journey, and then get the Ace of Wands coming in and everything. But, you know, to actually get to the World, and to the end, and to finish something, you do have to 8 of Pentacles it, and actually put the work in and do it. You do have to, like, finish it, and, like, it's like being near the end, but there's still some work to do. But you're very close, and it's a successful completion. Now, in the outcome, just like I said, Taurus had the High Priestess here as well in the same position. And again, why I think that the Moon is not necessarily about confusion and not having information. The High Priestess is, you know, she has the answers. She's the keeper of secrets. She knows things. And yes, sometimes the High Priestess can be that someone is keeping a secret. But in your feelings, you have the Sun, so I think this is about answers. This is like knowing your path. This is about your intuition, listening to your gut sometimes. Like, how is this situation making you feel a bit off? Then maybe remove yourself from that situation. Does this path feel right? Then maybe go down that path. And like, the High Priestess is just such a powerful card and a powerful person, and it just looks very clear. Like, when I put down the first card and it was the Moon, I thought immediately, oh god, oh no, what's happening for Gemini? Why is the Moon coming up? But then, just like with Taurus, and I'm sorry I keep going on about Taurus, I know this is your reading, at the end I put down the High Priestess, and it just kind of makes sense. It's about trusting yourself, trusting in you, and that you do have answers, and you do know things, and you can kind of take care of things. You have to put the work in, but you do see a path out of whatever situation you're in. If it's a situation you want to move away from, or if you want more for yourself, then of course you're allowed that. And of course you should get that, but that also means sometimes that we have to maybe work hard to get there. But moving on to your Oracle cards, from the Oracle of E, you got number 35, Live Wire. And it reads, within you is a powerful elixir that can change the world, both your world and the world around you. Scientists call this elixir emotions, but you can think of it as a supercharged current capable of taking you anywhere you want to go. You can use your emotions to suffer or to skyrocket to fame. Good to know that you are up to it. So this card to me very, very much speaks to the Ace of Wands. Like, it just feels like this huge boost of like, okay, I'm gonna do this, and I have all this energy and enthusiasm and passion, and I'm gonna get this done. Like, I think Live Wire and Ace of Wands work great together. I feel like they're essentially the same thing in a lot of ways. And from the Wisdom of the Oracle, the card you have is number 13, Fork in the Road, and the essential meanings are time to make a decision, considering the consequences as you prepare to act, owning up to your obligation to make a necessary choice. And you don't have the card, but Fork in the Road is essentially the Two of Wands. This is about picking your path. What is it you want to do? Which, like, are you going left or are you going right? you know where you came from, and now it's about the next step. What are you going to do? Okay, so you reached the world. What are you going to do after that? What's the path forward? And I think it works very well in this reading, and it kind of not nudging you to maybe reach for this Eight of Pentacles energy and putting the work in, like, okay, is this what you want? Then go for it. What's stopping you? Yes, you have this Five of Wands, and it might be that it is about conflict, but you have so many good cards in this, and I think you, are in a very powerful place to, manifest and work toward, what you want. What is it you want? What is it you want to work toward? Whatever it is, of course you're worth it. Why wouldn't you be? You deserve this, right? But then it's also the caveat, just because you deserve something doesn't mean it comes for free. Sometimes you do have to put effort into it and actually do the work. And, I'm speaking to myself as much as I'm speaking to you guys. So there we are. That was your reading for November. The energies were pretty tough in some regards this time around. I did my best with all of your readings, but sometimes it just doesn't come together without a struggle, Before I go, I'd like to wish you a happy Halloween once again, and remind you that if you want to contact me about a personal reading or check out the decks I use, the information is in the description box below. I'd also like to thank all of you for watching and supporting me. I do read all your comments and reply to as many as I'm able to. Once again, thank you and happy Halloween.